Mic check 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Yeah. It's your round. Pack Boy Dolo checking in, man. As you can see, I done swapped up the view. Cause I got a very special individual right here with me. OG Steve, man. Shout out to OG Steve. OG Steve, man. Tell him a little bit about yourself and how you kind of came up, man.
Well, Steve, originally from New York City. Grew up in the Bronx, born in North Harlem, raised in the Bronx. Spent 27 years there, and then I moved to Atlanta in 2000, 1 year before the fall of the towers. Spent 13 years there, and decided to experience something necessarily life-changing, and came out to Rapid City, South Dakota, just on a whim, and I've been out here for 10 years. And that's the short introduction as to who I am and where I'm from.
And then we meet, and let me tell y'all, man, I've got so much game from this man right here, like literally. How long? I've been knowing you for 2 years now.
I want to say about 2 years. Yeah,
2
that sounds
years.
about accurate.
And the information that he kicks, oh man, y'all have no idea, how impactful it could be, especially to younger individuals that's grown up and that want to see change in their life. Notice I said wanted to see change, because a lot of people don't. Not talking about them, but this shit is just facts. So, OG, I got a question for you, man.
Yes, sir.
How'd you get to where you are today? Because like your knowledge at your age, I mean, this honestly is not normal. It may seem normal, but that's really not normal. It's people older than you that I've encountered that does not have an understanding that you have, and a comfortable, I'm not gonna say comfortable, I'm gonna say confidence in your information. Like, how did you get to that point, man?
I think the first thing was completely humbling myself and deciding to, I wouldn't want to say deciding to, but rather continuing to understand that I have to continuously be a student and don't think of myself as a teacher.
Right.
I think that would be a most accurate breakdown.
Wow. And then by being a student and not seeing yourself as a teacher, that kind of removes the ego, so to speak, and it leaves you open to learning. Because I've dealt with people who, like, I call them know-it-alls. You know what I'm saying? You see their errors and you try to kick a little bit of game to them, but they already know. I already know, but you don't, by according to your actions. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely understand that. I feel like that's truly important. And before I kick the camera on, you mentioned transparency and the importance of transparency. Could you go a little bit in depth on that?
Well, with transparency is truth. To be completely open, available with information that builds trust and empathy. People can relate when it's truth, and through truth goes right back to transparency, because if you're not able to be completely honest about your experiences and the things that you've been through, then how somebody's supposed to take your word for, relevance, to have any, relevance to it.
Facts. Wow. You see what I mean? It's the information, man, that he kicks. And like I said, it helped me out a lot. It still helped me to this day. That's why he's sitting here with me, and he like the first person that I've ever interviewed on Round the Clock Thinkers channel. You feel what I'm saying? And back to transparency, I feel like that definitely starts with self, right?
Yeah, you have to. I was talking to my daughter about layers, similar to an onion, peeling layers to get to the core. And
Indeed.
you know, when you reflect on your life, you have to be honest about how you feel about these things. What do you choose to become because of these things? You know what I'm saying? You got to really think about how it's going to affect you. And, for me, just to be really simple, one day you have to decide whether you really want to live or you really want to die. And I think that's what I told myself one day is, do you really want to live or you really want to die? Because earlier in my life, it was just all about, testing limits and aggression and not, being honest about my emotions and, trying to fake the funk. When you hanging out with your boys or, even when you dealing with, females, you keep a guard. A lot of times you think that if people know what's really going on with you and about you, then they're not going to have anything to do with you or want to, and then there'll be like a form of rejection. And then how do you feel about that rejection? And normally it's anger and you lash out at other people. But through transparency, then you humble yourself and learn that it's a part of the history of who you're choosing to become. You have to embrace, your history in order to evolve into who you choose to be.
Wow. Wow. See, and embracing your history, that's a lot, to forgive yourself. You know what I'm saying? To forgive yourself and look forward in life, right? So, like, for me, I feel like I had to accept a lot of the mistakes that I made in order to become a better me. You know what I'm saying? And I saw something that really registered. It said, the people that used to know me, they gotta meet me again because I'm a whole new person. And I truly am. I'm a whole new person. And I'm not done. I'm still doing the work. It's a process. But I'm sitting here with somebody who's went through the majority of that process. You know what I'm saying? He went through the majority of that process. And could you tell them, you mind telling them like your why on why you set out to become a better you?
Well, let me pass that over to you.
I'm gonna get an extra.
My story, I guess, really begins with the most complicated situation that I developed in my life, which was losing my daughter. When I no longer had access to my daughter, I thought of rejection. I thought of how important it was for me to be a parent and be there, and how it made me feel for my parents not to be there. And that's when I decided that there needed to be a transformation, because all of the rage that I was feeling and giving out was disrupting me from having the most important relationship. And, I had to learn how to, begin to be extremely humble to accomplish the greatest of goals for me personally, which was to, be the strongest influence or one of the strongest influences in my daughter's life.
Wow. So if you have kids, you know what I'm saying? That's your why. That's your why. I don't have kids yet. So I have to find my why. And
that's important what you just said, because there's something. I was talking to my daughter about love and the word love and what it really means. And it's something that is greater than you, a purpose, a sense of purpose. Whether it's to try to help humanity with words of wisdom through music, through poetry, through television viewing, through podcasts, through simply tapping a brother on the street and having a conversation that might help him. Right. Random. You know what I'm saying?
That's so powerful. That's so powerful. To see the person on the street, see these strangers that you don't even know, say, wow, that's a person, bro. Like, I love to give out compliments, hold the doors.
Yeah.
When we be out working, operating, we bump into each other, hey, we always on the same, you know what I'm saying, the same vibe, because, it's just better that way, It's better that way, honestly. So I want to close it with this question right here. What's the most valuable thing you feel like, if you had to pick one thing, what's the most valuable thing that you feel like you've learned throughout your life?
Patience.
Patience? Tell me more.
What I mean by patience, I'm going to add another word with that, is persistence. I need to be persistent and patient at the same time. Through patience, I understood that there's process. Through persistence, then there's the application of motivation. And I want to say those two things combined into one has the strongest of relevance into the beginning of development.
Wow. So let me ask you something. What if motivation somehow leaves you? Because a lot of people deal with that. They say, I don't feel the motivation. But will the persistence feed that motivation?
I think that there's evolution, and there's constant evolution. Through constant evolution, you have to adjust. And, we talk about the wave and the analogy of the surfer and the wave and trusting the wave. Because when you try to control where you go, you're going to crash. Because the wave is more powerful than you as the surfing individual. So you have to trust the wave to where it's leading you to continue to stay on that wave and be successful into having longevity on that wave. Wow.
You already know what time it is, man. It's your round, Pac Boy Dolo checking out. I've been kicking it with OG Steve, and according to this interview and how I'm feeling, we're gonna have to do this again.
Absolutely.
So I appreciate you, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate you honestly, on a deep level, bro. I really, really appreciate you, you know what I'm saying? Because you changed, a lot up here. And then, of course, once it changed up here, it changed the way I operate. Much love to the people out there. You already know what time it is. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell, of course, so you can know when I upload. And I might just chop this down into 2 parts. I'm not sure. I may just upload the whole video, but we'll see how that goes.
Before you end, let me say this as well: is I feel extremely humbled, and I appreciate you for having me share information and showing an interest in the continued sharing of that information.
No doubt.
It means a lot for me to share with individuals who have open ears, and that means a whole lot more to me, and it's easy for me to do these type of things with you and be able to share information in general, and hope that people are able to find some usage from it, some very resourceful usage from the different things that we'll probably continue to share in different pieces. So it's an honor to be here and have this opportunity to do something different and talk, because that's something I know how to do. I know how to shut up too, and this is time for me to shut up and let my man finish the close completely, and hopefully I get a chance to rap with some of you real soon as well. So thank you as well for listening and absorbing the information and letting me share. So much gratitude.
See how he be dishing it out. Peace out, y'all. So I cut it right there. That shit was dope.